season. Duncan up again. This pitch a little too inside for his liking. Duncan, Brad Ausmus, the catcher, discuss it. And Philly bench coach John Vukovic jumps in, and then everybody goes bananas. 4 players ejected. The Fanatic even wanted a piece of the action.
Ball inside. Man, Brad Ausmus inside. Whoop, strike 3. He expanded that strike zone with his fastball, and Mr. Ausmus did not like this call very much, but it's been a frustrating weekend for the Padres.
Not happy. Brad Ausmus thrown out, and the final score in Ejections facing Randy Velarde. Just a bit inside. Called the ball. Brad Ausmus disagrees with home plate ump Mike Fitcher. He's tossed, and Phil Garner just goes berserk.
Tired draft in June of '97. He hit Stanley with a 3-2 pitch. And Anderson's been ejected. And now Brad Ausmus jumps right in the face of Chuck Merriweather and says, "You can't do that." Larry Parrish shoves Ausmus out of the way and gets right in the face of Merriweather. And now Parrish a little too physical, and he's going to get suspended for that. You can't put your hands on an umpire, and Parrish did it at least once. First, he gave Ausmus way more of a shove than you'd ordinarily give one of your own players. And now Ausmus better get hauled out of there by somebody. I believe Merriweather was also the home plate umpire, Jerry, last weekend.
Same score in the 4th. Jason Beret, Brad Ausmus with 2 on, full count. Can't find that fastball. Ausmus doesn't like the call. The inning's over anyway. The argument continues, and Ausmus is out.
1 for 2 in the game. Top of the 7th, Brewers up 8-7. Jose Hernandez. Base hit to right. Orlando Merced comes up throwing. There's going to be a play at the plate. Mark Loretta called safe. Ausmus is livid. He'd be ejected immediately by the umpire, Matt Hollowell. I think we have to look at this again.
He's not leaving.
You've already been ejected. He's supposed to leave in a timely fashion. Ausmus thinks he got the tag on Loretta. Hollowell didn't think so. Ausmus, as we told you, ejected. The Brewers up 9-7.
Top 2, 1 zip throws, 2 on for Lenny Harris. Just a .228 hitter, but getting his hit on up the middle. Moises Alou scores. He stopped. Choi will try and score. Brian Hunter's throw is in time. Choi called safe. 2-1 Cubs. Jimmy Williams comes out to beef a little bit, but take another look. The throw is there, but a little high. Looks like Choi's foot might have hit the plate first. After Williams is done beefing, catcher Brad Ausmus said something home plate ump Mark Carlson didn't like. Probably questioned Carlson's 401 choices. Ausmus is tossed.
Cardinals, Fernando Vina facing Jamie Arnold, the 11th different pitcher to start for the Cubs this year. Meanwhile, he would soon get tossed by home plate ump Kerwin Danley. And the visuals back.
Top of the 8th, Vina now in the box. Called out on strikes. Vina doesn't like it. Vina thrown out of the game. Cardinals would win.
Baseball needs.
Sure, batter 9, Fernando Vina. Facing Joe Nathan. Yes, he went. Twins bullpen. 4 innings of no-hit ball. Minnesota wins 10-5. Tigers' first loss of the year.
I don't know what you're looking for, because when they don't swing a bat and it's right down the middle, that's something.
Eric did not like that call and rarely argues, and he has been tossed from this game. He's telling Angel Campos, you haven't called that all day, and he has been thrown out of the ballgame.
Wow.
3-2 to David Wright. On the inside corner, and David goes right after the home plate umpire and has been ejected from the game. A fastball that appeared to be inside. Paul Schreiber called it strike 3, and I don't think I've ever seen David Wright this hot.
Well, he's frustrated. It's his 4th strikeout.
And remember, the Mets are out of bench players. If they were to tie this game, they would have to put a pitcher into the field.
Usually that ball on the other side of the plate is not called for a strike.
It's also probably a little low, and David Wright has just been thrown out of the game, I think. Was it Wright or was it Darno got thrown out? Wright got called out on a low pitch earlier in the game and clearly was incensed. And I'm pretty sure David's been run.
And it's the same thing you hear all the time. The players are telling the umpire, you should just pay attention to the field.
Struck him out. Francoeur wasn't as sure about this one, but he's down on strikes, and Brett Tomko has a pretty good 8th inning. While we were away for the break, Jeff Francourt, we said, did not like the call on that strikeout. He was ultimately ejected from the game. He's been replaced by Mitch Meyer in right field.
Over to Milwaukee last year and won 13 games again. That's his first strikeout and one away. Jeff Francourt is going to, well, that's going to cost him. That's an automatic ejection. Unfortunately, whether a player meant to show up the umpire or not, there are a couple of no-nos.
Somebody just fired a hat onto the playing field, and I think it's Jeff Francourt who just got thrown out of the ball game. Brian Snitker's out to try to keep him from going after Hunter Wendelstedt. And Jeff was ejected.
Well, that's not good because he was one of the guys left on the bench.
In the 6th inning now, Maroth facing Aaron Rowan. Still a 2-0 game. Rowan looked like he checked it, brought it back. No, punched him out. Rowan, look, did he toss him out right there that fast?
Well, he might have tossed him for throwing his helmet. If you throw your helmet, it's technically throwing your equipment, and you can get an automatic ejection.
Cardinal puzzle.
Doesn't like that call. He might get thrown out, and he just did. Now Yadi's being pushed by the umpire. Now he says he's gotten bumped. And now he's backing off, and that may cost Yadier Molina. He is so angry with the home plate umpire right now as he is called out on strikes, and he has been tossed.
Well, that's not Yadier Molina either.
Here's the 0-2. Molina hits it sharply. Crawford keeps it on the infield. Long throw to first, and he got him. Wow! Crawford still is able to get Molina, and now Molina has been ejected from this game after throwing his helmet. They've got to calm him down. Molina out. And so is Matheny. He's going to get thrown out here in a second. He's gone. And this crowd is booing. 40,000 plus. They can't believe it. Mike Matheny ejected.
That was the second time Pat Hoberg ran Mike Matheny. He ran him twice.
This umpire has missed pitches all night long.
Yeah, actually, the first guy run was Yadier Molina, and then Mike Matheny. So the 2 times by Pat Hoberg